Hello and welcome back to the Best of Both Worlds, where we are dissecting my grandfather's recently published book on Amazon. You can check it out. Precious Little Prayers for Precious Little People. And we are on our second little prayer. If you wouldn't mind doing the honors.
Okay, we're on our second little prayer. I tell everybody ought to have a Brianna, but for those of you who don't have one, it's all right. I'll share it with you. Okay, now, all right. It says here by way of video, nothing personal. Okay, it's called "What You See and a Whole Lot More." You know, when you talk about an iceberg. One of the characteristics of an iceberg is that you see maybe X amount of percentage above the water, but there's a lot that you don't see below the water. And really the majority of it is under the water. You see a swan swimming, oh, he just gliding, but you don't see them feet underneath. That brother rolled, he ain't got nothing on Robert Fulton in the steam engine. You know what I'm saying? That brother's kicking it. Stroke, stroke, stroke. Got the little people down there. Stroke, stroke. You know, just try. Little Fred Flintstone there, down the bottom. But anyhow, all this action is going down below, and he just, all right now, looking all smooth and suave on top. Well, you see that little bit. You see that little bit. And sometimes kids think that's just them. And you have to let them know that they're more than just what they see. Because they see the outside, but they haven't grasped their potential inside and who they are fully. They're close to it. Oh yeah, they are. They're very spiritual. But they just don't understand that that is the seat of their discovery. And so this prayer is from a little kid that says, well, this is what we were doing here was that we were encouraging a kid with this prayer. And we were telling him, did you know God lives in you and that he's been right there to help you do everything that he made you for, what you see, and a whole lot more. Now see Brianna over here? I could turn around and read this thing to her. Watch it blush. Brianna, did you know God lives in you? And he's been right there to help you do, not to think about, do everything that he made you for. What you see and a whole lot more. Think about that. Because the next time you get depressed some of you that are watching this video, you're going to get depressed. You might be depressed right now, drinking, some of these things that we do to ourselves, to numb ourselves, to move to a different level of consciousness because the state that we're in is just not working for us. It's because we may have forgotten that what we see is not all who we are. There's a lot more going on. There's a spiritual component in that that's able to communicate with your maker, that's able to be stabilized and strengthened and has your reality and has your vision, has the vision for you and has what God saw in you. And so, man, that is powerful. It's like if the president of the universe says I'm great while I'm asking the janitor, you know what I'm saying? So because he don't know, he's still a janitor. He may, because maybe he's operating based on what somebody classified his humanity. And his greatness doesn't lie in what he physically does. It's like a good man that raises 13, 14 kids, and he might have been, it might have been a laborer, but the spiritual component and the moral fabric that he wove into his family is greater than man with millions. So it's like, man, what he did, while it might not seem big on the world scale, but raising 14 kids with moral character, he's more than what you see. That man. He's a whole lot more. None of his kids is in jail. None of his kids are breaking it out. None of his kids are doing it. Every one of his kids is responsible. Why? And they wouldn't think about doing it the other way because he himself was more than what they saw. So at times kids need to be encouraged.
And on a personal note, I struggle with this because I am a single mother. So sometimes when I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh my goodness, I had a kid and I'm only 22 and I had a kid out of wedlock and the impact that it had on my family and whatnot. But then I don't sit back and look at everything that having my child did for me and the impact that my child had on me. It made me look at the world in a whole different perspective. I had to really grasp the concept of adulthood, and everything my parents ever taught me came to one. Like, it was like, light bulb, ding. Like, now I understand.
Multiple light bulbs. String of light bulbs. Christmas tree. Yeah.
Now I understand what you were trying to teach me all these years. And it came from having my kid. And it just made me realize that I'm more than just a 22-year-old woman who had a kid out of wedlock. I'm a mother that's raising a man. Like,
wow.
And I impact him every day. And I'm a mother that serves our country proudly every day. You know, I'm a mother that has to carry my heavy son with 80 bags on this arm up the stairs. Like, and I do this daily. Things that I thought I could never do. I do it daily. So sometimes we are our own, you know, critic. When we look in the mirror, we're like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. But then we don't look at the bigger picture. Like,
Bree, that. I mean, what just grabs me out of that is that every morning it looked like the ugly fairy has snuck in at night.
right.
Threw some stuff on our breath. Took the oils out of our face. So sometimes when we looking at that thing, it ain't the best look. It don't look like Maybelline. It don't look like what it is. And we have to not only fight against what we see, and what I'm saying is that it will deter. It's like grass that will always need cutting. You cut it, you can't rejoice too long.
Because it will grow right back.
Let some rain come, and then the little dandelions. And so you might have swooped it up last night, but somewhere in your torrential sleep, that rag came off. And now it's all over here, you know, and then the oils, and we can see that you don't have just number 1 skin or number 2 skin or number 3 skin. You got 1, 2, and 3 all on the same face. So you try to get it together, and then that's the outside. You got the body up, but the mind ain't woke, and then the spirit still asleep.
Yes.
And you're like, wow. And so you wonder, is that me? Is
that it?
Is that it?
Is that all I have to offer?
Is that so? Every morning get up and do that? You know, so when you look at this, you have to no. God lives in you. Let's make man in our image, and in the image of God he made them. And so spiritually, that image, hold it. So I got to remember that there is, as Paul Martinelli would say, hold that image. And I like to say, the image that you want to put to the nation is the imagination, okay? The imagination, how about that? And you got to have a great attitude, gratitude. Oh, excuse me. All right now. Okay. So you know, you got to turn this thing around. And so sometimes start with a little soap, a little water, knocking that funk off, because you don't understand. You went to sleep at night, you're smelling all good, woke up next morning, you're like, man, everything went to pot. You say, went in the sheets. My looks went to sheets. My smell went. So what I'm saying is that sometimes what you see in the morning almost turn you off.
Right.
And now that's just in your room. And you walk out the house and you ain't got no much food. And you go downstairs and you're in a place where you're sharing a house with somebody. And it can compound. Now, kids are little. So now when a kid deals with something, it's little kids trying to handle big kid problems.
Right.
And so this kid is wrestling with this, and he could be sizing himself up based on the environment that he or she lives in. And you have to encourage them that, I'm sorry, it don't matter where you are at.
Or how you got here.
or how you got here. If you in the New York skyscraper or you in the backside of your blip, you are here. Say that. I'm here. Y'all repeat it?
I'm here.
I am here, Peter Sanjay. I am presencing. I am in the present. I am here. I am here. Just by being here, Newton's law, no two things that occupy the same space. I'm in this space. I am here. And because I am here, God wanted me here. Boy, that changes the whole dimension, doesn't it? Because then you can move into, did you know God lives in you? Really? So it ain't just about the house, but it's about the occupant. Mm-hmm. You know, because there's some great people lived in some shabby houses when they was growing up. So it wasn't just because when I drink a soda, I don't drink the can, I drink the soda. Mm-hmm. When I eat the chips, watch my waist now. When I eat the chips, I don't eat the bag, I eat the chips. So did you know God lives in you? And I think the Bible says it like this, that you have this treasure in an earthen vessel. So the best part is what's inside. But sometimes this outside, if you can't get past your outside, you'll never know what's on the
inside.
My goodness, it's so good.
And sometimes we can damage our insides by always thinking about the outside and our appearance to others. So we could always be looking mad all the time, and it just messes up our whole personality, and it leaves a bad impression on people sometimes because we're just so worried about our outside that we mess up our insides.
And then sometimes we paint a fake outside.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me do my gangster thing.
Oh, Lord.
On the album.
Oh, my gosh.
Look, boy, you ain't all that. Let it go. Let it go. That dog don't hunt. Matter of fact, he can't even bow wow. He's a mute dog. He's a dog without a voice.
Oh, Lord.
So look, what we're saying is just this. You don't have to go there. You don't have to go there. The value is on what's inside. Because, and I'm going to share this here. All of you are not going to be 6'4". And all of you are not going to make it to the NBA, nor be professional basketball players or football players. You hear what I'm saying? So you better get in touch with what's inside. Did you know God lives in you? And if the maker of the universe is inside, all bets are on. For with God, all things are possible. Somebody said things are impossible. And then somebody else said, just by the very word impossible says, I am possible. So you got to know God lives in you. If he's up in there, you ain't shutting him down. Mm-hmm. That's you, his condo. He live up in there.
He pay that rent.
He keep the lights on. He keep the lights on. He pay the rent, man. Look, he up in here. If he don't like what he know how to get it right. But you need to know that, and that's very important. Did you know God lives in you? He's like, man, I didn't think I had any value. Thinking about the shell now. Mm-hmm. Did you know God lives in you? Wow.
And he's been right there to help you do.
Been right there.
Never left.
Never left, man. See, they told me that who I was all I is. Born in the woods, born backwards, that's it. No. Been shirking, been lazy, been dumb. No. Look, God's been right there the whole time. And that's why we want to add this value to you, let you know that. Look. This is so good. Did you know? And
that's even, to piggyback off our last video that we just made for the first one, coming to God, did you know when you need help, sit down there and just pray and God will help you. He's right there at all times.
It ain't like he's on a vacation. He's right there, knowing the limitations, knowing that you will get I would say this. He knows that outside of you, sometimes it can be a hard life as humans go through this thing of accepting each other. She light them dog.
You know what?
You know what I'm saying?
I want to touch on that fakeness.
Oh!
The fake, picture that we try to paint for people. I actually know somebody personal that does that very often, every time that he comes home. And I have to sit down and tell him, like, you don't have to paint that picture for anyone here, like, we know, because it's a spirit that we sense.
Yeah.
We know that you're struggling, and it's okay to struggle. And I had to let him know that one-on-one, like, it's okay to struggle. We don't pass no judgment. We're here to help you. And you have to be able to know that God is there to help you too.
Yes.
And God puts certain people in your life to help you. So sometimes you have to really be humble and come back to earth and realize that it's not always about your outward appearance that people are attracted to.
Right.
Sometimes it's the inside. And majority of the time it's the inside. But if you don't have a good inside, then what do you have?
You have a vacancy. Room for rent.
Anybody, any takers?
God, please apply. I need you. Because the importance is that God does live in you.
Right.
If you've asked God, He lives there. If you ask Him, believe it.
Right.
And act like He's there. Because faith acts on it. If God is here, then I don't get the right to.
Right.
Because it's His house.
Stuff, yeah.
He brings His rules, He brings regulations, and He's going to keep the house clean. And He's been right there. He ain't been. He ain't a slumlord. I mean, in other words, He's not a bum tenant.
Right.
I'm not going to pay the rent.
You're so much more than what you're trying to portray yourself.
That's right. He's been right there to help you do everything that He's made you for. So isn't it amazing that to have the person that made you and made you for X in there helping you do what He made you for? Sound like success to me. You made me this way.
So
now
there's rules? Like, oh, there's guidelines? Oh, okay.
And I'm going to help you do it.
Okay.
And if you be willing and obedient, you'll eat of the good of the land.
Okay.
Wow. And everything give thanks. And so I'm telling you what to do. I'm telling you I'm not going to leave you. And so, look, everything that I made you for, why would I make you for X, Y, Z and only give you X? So you're going to fail at Y, Z.
Mm-hmm.
And that's frustration. When somebody tasks you to do something but only give you
part of it,
the ability to do part of it. Mm-hmm. We used to call it JD-R, job demand resources. If the job demands this, I'm not frustrated if you give me the resources to do it. But if you job demands and there's no resources, I'm frustrated. And God is not trying to frustrate you. He ain't fronting. He wants you to represent. Like a big dog. He wants you at the front of the thing. You know, we don't want you wagging the tail. Ooh, your little tail wagging. No. I believe in Deuteronomy talks about you are the head and not the tail. Mm-hmm. So why would He set you up to be a tail wagger? Because if you represent Him as God, a tail? Oh, no, not at all. No. He's a head. What you see.
And a whole lot more.
And why a whole lot more? Because there's so much more to the God in you that He wants to bring through you that you don't even know how much He made you for. So if you get in the way of that, you be blocking Him because He's got a big plan for you, and you be over there trying, well, here's what I see. And He was like, you can't see on my level.
No.
So what you have been blessed to see, you know what I mean, that I let you see, and a whole lot more. And I believe the scripture said, eyes have not seen, nor ears heard, neither into the hearts of men the things God has prepared for them that love Him, because they're spiritually discerned. So as you get to know a person, you begin to see how much more they love you and how much more they would want to love you if you open yourself up to it. And you're like, they don't love me. Well, are you open? Do you know that? Do you really know that?
And
open yourself
I even
up.
have a question, like, so you know, sometimes like when you go to different places and you see certain people and you automatically pass judgment off of how they look.
Uh-huh.
And then the moment you talk to them, you're like, I did not know that was going to come out the way it came out. You're brilliant, you know?
Yeah.
So that's just, you know, you can't judge a book by its cover.
No, because even a walnut has a thick shell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so some people just got thick shells, but there's a nut inside. I like that, don't you? All right now. You know, I mean, some animals have different gestation periods. Some take 12 months to get that baby out. Mm-hmm. Some you got the vet got to go up in there and do a little something, hook some, pull it out. But it comes out and it is. But see, that's why when it comes to potential, when it comes to skill, when it comes to all those things, when it comes to desire, passion, no one can tell you what you have inside. It's between you and God. Mm-hmm. I mean, Abraham had to be constantly encouraged. Abraham, come out of Haran, go to this new place. You're like, where is that place? Leave all this? I'm telling you, there's greatness in you. I believe that many of you lay on your beds at night, dream about things. It almost frightens, bring tears to your eye because you're like, man, this is some heavy stuff up here. Let me go back to being, let me do the stupid stuff that ain't challenging me. You know what I mean? You want to think light instead of thinking heavy. But I just believe that this same message, God lives in you to help you do all that He's called you for, what you see, and a whole lot more. We're gonna stop right here this time, but we just know that we believe that we brought a little value to your life today through this conversation. But what you see, and what?
A whole lot more.
What you see and a what?
A whole lot more.
A whole big lot more. No, I'm kidding.
Big lot.
Big lot. A whole big lot more. Yeah, I mean, a whole lot more. What you see and a whole lot more. You know, this may sound very humorous, but you know, you may be challenged by the end of the day, or you may be challenged yesterday, or just earlier today, or whatever. And you're going to need to remember this. Because somebody may turn you off, some relationship may fall off the map or whatever, and you're going to remember. Because sometimes we can get so tied into someone else being the cause of our happiness and everything.
Right.
And that if it doesn't roll like we think it ought to roll, we lose the value in ourselves. And we have to remind ourselves that, no, God still lives in me. And He's here to help me do it.
So we just pray that you all stay encouraged and that we hope that you got the best of both worlds.
And this world too.
Yeah.
So, thank you. See you next time.